and by the followers, which means that if I'm praying behind an imam and he rises from ruku' saying Sami Allahu liman hamida, I, as a follower, do not say Sami Allahu liman hamida. I just answer what he has said. So, I've raised or I raised and I got up from ruku' position saying Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. There are a lot of adhkar I can say afterwards, but this is what's essential. You can say ملء السماوات وملء الأرض وملء ما شئت من شيء بعد. You can say ربنا ولك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. And do I place my hands on the chest or leave it on the sides? Either way is possible. What do you suggest, Sheikh? I personally follow the hadith of Wa'il ibn Hujr, which says that whenever the Prophet ﷺ rised from ruku', whenever the Prophet ﷺ stood up, he used to put the right on the left on the chest. So now after I've risen from ruku', what is this position called? Is it sujood? Is it ruku'? What is it? It's standing up. So according to the hadith, then I should do this. The majority of scholars say no, you have to put it on your side. But there is not a single hadith that stated that the Prophet used to put his hands on his side in any position. So it's an issue of dispute, but akhi, again, this is a sunnah. You put it on your chest, you put it on your side, there's no problem. Don't make an issue out of it. Don't label people or classify people or think that people are better than you or worse than you. No. Just leave it as it is. This is the conviction. Leave them. So I'm in the ruku' position. Subhana Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdih. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Rabbana wa lakal hamd hamdan kathiran tayyiban mubarakan fih.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
This is my standing up from ruku'. What should I do now? I should go for sujood. Now for sujood, there are two ways. A difference of opinion among scholars. Should I land first on my knees or should I land first on my hands? It's an issue of dispute. And the reason of that is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said that one should not go down like a camel does when the camel wants to sit. Rather, he should put his hands first before his knees. And understanding whether the hands of a camel are their elbows or the knees in his feet, it's an issue of dispute. Either way is okay, inshallah. So, however you feel comfortable with, you should do it. I personally, due to age, due to praying on marble or stones, whenever there are pebbles in the ground, if you land from the standing position on your knees, would surely injure yourself one way or the other. For elders, it's difficult to go on their knees, especially if they have knee problems. It's always best to go first on the hand. It's like a shock absorber. It absorbs the fall itself. It eases the pressure on and the weight on the knees. So how to do this? This is what we'll, inshallah, show you now. So, in order to do sujood, you will find that I'll take my glasses. Now I can't see you, but alhamdulillah, you can see me. Why do you take your glasses off, Sheikh? Because it will hinder putting the sujood spots properly. What do you mean by sujood? Prostration. As the Prophet said, I was ordered to prostrate on 7 limbs. He said, the face, and he pointed to his nose, meaning the forehead and the nose. These are related. This is one organ. The hands, the knees, and the feet. These are 7. So, I want to go to sujood. Do I raise my hands? No. I just say Allahu Akbar while falling to sujood. And this is what I do. Allahu Akbar. This is the way of performing sujood. What are the things I should paying attention to? Before I do the prostration, I'm still in the standing position. You have to know that, first of all, my hands should be pointing to the Qibla. So my hands are not this way and are not this way, rather they are pointing to the Qibla. Now, where should I place my hands? I have the option either to place my hands next to my shoulders or a little bit close to my ears. My knees are not so close together, they are apart. My feet, they are close to each other, erect, with some toes, not all of them, because it's impossible to have all your toes pointing to the Qibla, but the toes that are bendable can point to the Qibla. My arms are wide and spread, so my biceps are not close to my sides. So I have to spread as I'm spreading my wings. And my stomach is not touching my thighs. Some people just go very down. And I'll show you quickly, hopefully, to the best of my knowledge and ability. So my forehead, my nose must touch the ground. And these 7 limbs must touch the ground throughout the sujood. Because part of the famous mistakes is having your feet dangling. Or some of the brothers having the left hand on the ground and the other hand while prostrating, playing with his beard or looking at something in his pocket. So he's prostrating on 6 limbs, and this renders his sujood void if he does this without any legitimate reason. So I was standing up. Now I'm falling into the sujood position, and I'm saying Allahu Akbar in between. So let's look at how I make the sujood. This is one of the ways of doing it. So my hands and fingers should be pointing towards the Qibla. My face, my forehead, and my nose are touching the ground. I should have my arms apart and away from my body. And at the same time, my stomach is not touching my thighs. Some brothers do this, and this is wrong. And this is too much spread. So the appropriate way is either having my hands next to my ears or to my shoulders. I can have this one here, and I can have this one here. Look at my feet. They are touched together, not far away. They are touched together with my toes bent towards the Qibla as much as possible. Now, if I'm praying next to people, to my right and to my left, if I do this, I'm going to annoy them and maybe harm them. So it is permissible when you are in a tight position to put your elbows on your thighs or inside. What is haram and prohibited is to do this. This is prohibited, which I have my forearms on the ground like a dog. And the Prophet said that this is totally prohibited. What should I say when I'm prostrating? Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. Subhana Rabbi al-A'la wa bihamdih. Sabbuhun qaddusun Rabbul malaikati wal ruh. So many du'as. The minimum requirement, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. Can I make dua? Go ahead, make dua. As much as I want, as much as you want. Oh Allah, pay my debts. Oh Allah, guide my children. Oh Allah, guide my wife. Oh Allah, get me a second wife. Oh Allah, grant me health. Whatever. In Arabic. Sheikh, I'm non-Arab and I can't say it in Arabic. No problem, say it in your own language. Oh, this is interesting. Yes, the closest you are is when you are in sujood position. So if I'm in my sujood position and I would like to sit between the two prostrations, I say, Allahu Akbar. And I sit on my left foot. This is called iftirash. And I erect my right foot with as many possible toes towards the Qibla. My hands are on my thighs and my knees. So it's in between. The area is possible. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. It's here. Sit normally. Don't be so technical. Sometimes people are so technical, they forget the prayer, they forget what you're reciting, and just think, oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Be natural. Follow the sunnah, acknowledge that this is the sunnah, the way of the Prophet, and do it naturally. And when I sit like this, I say, Rabbi ghfirli. Minimum is once. I can say 10 times, 10, 20 times. I can say 2, 3, 4, whatever. Rabbi ghfirli, Rabbi ghfirli. Issue of dispute. Is saying Rabbi ghfirli mandatory or sunnah? Some scholars say it's sunnah. I am inclined to say that it is mandatory because the Prophet ﷺ always used to say it. Any other dua? Yes, there is a longer dua. Rabbi ghfirli warhamni wa'afini wajburni wahdini warfa'ni. All of this is possible. This is the prostration or the sitting between the two prostrations. It's called iftirash. And if you would like to show it from behind, I'm sitting on my left foot and my right foot is erect. This is the sunnah. Sheikh, I have problems with my right foot, so can I put it down like this? No problem. Sheikh, I'd like to sit with 2 feet on one another because this is the only way I feel comfortable. No problem. Your prayer is valid. You will lose the reward of the sunnah. But your prayer is totally valid, akhi. No problem. Not only that, Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, at the end of his time, he used to sit cross-legged. And when some of his companions followed him, he said, no, this is not the sunnah. I'm doing this because of my knees. You should sit like the sunnah. But the position is what? Sitting. So no matter how you sit, the right thing, but the more you are following the Prophet, the better it is for your reward. I must do a second sujood. And it's the same format. I say, Allahu Akbar. The same thing exactly, Subhana Rabbil A'la. Now, after I finish my sujood, I have to rise up to the second rak'ah. There is a sunnah that is called Jalsatul Istiraha, where I stand up. Before I stand up, I give a small pause. And then I say, Allahu Akbar. So when standing up, one should not stand with 4 fingers between the 2 feet, like some schools of thought say. And you go to the masjid and you find the people standing like this. What is this? If you want to answer the call of nature, go ahead, but don't come to the prayer when you're this tight. So this is, the way I'm standing is wrong. Some brothers, when they want to come and pray, they do this. Why? He says, the one on the right is far away from me, and the one on the left is far from me. And the brothers is doing this and doing this. Akhi, what are you doing? This is done in karate, in taekwondo, but not in prayer. So how should I stand? Stand normally, akhi. The width of your shoulders should be relevant to the distance between your 2 feet. Don't stand like this, because this is not pointing to the Qibla. And don't stand like this, because this means you have to see your orthopedic surgeon. You have a problem with your knees. But stand in a normal way, either like this or a little bit away from each other. Make it natural the way you stand. So I rose to the second rak'ah. Do I raise my hands? No. I simply say Allahu Akbar and resume my second rak'ah exactly as the first rak'ah.